As an emerging musician and music fan, I'm not at all concerned about AI slop ruining music or taking over the music industry. The reason I'm so sure is the same reason that I hate cover bands. Welcome to Field and Flux. My name is Peter. This is a channel about music, culture, and very likely some gear reviews. Thanks for clicking. Growing up and going to university in the 1990s, it seemed there was always a pseudo bohemian white dude playing stripped down versions of classic rock songs on an acoustic guitar in campus pubs. And as talented as these guys often were, I just found them insufferable. And to me, at the time, the original recording of the song would always be superior to this bro and his cowboy chords. And second, I was entering my music snob phase, which was not so savory, and I was kind of losing my taste for classic rock. But part of my suspicion is that these guys are really just into this attention. At the time, this is what I thought. Uh, Preferably female attention. Hey, I can play the song. It's kind of the "I'll play the guitar at you" sequence from the Barbie movie, because that's a real thing. Of course, learning and playing other people's songs is essential to learning music. And if you're in a cover band that performs at music venues or plays covers with some buddies as a way to socialize and enjoy music, obviously ignore me and go live your life. But to this day, if I hear a bunch of guys starting up Bad Moon Rising in a bar that I'm in, I'm going to another bar. I started to figure this out during the pandemic when I was sick of watching Netflix. I plugged my old Yamaha Pacifica into my computer and wrote and recorded a shitty song in GarageBand, and I was hooked. It was so much fun. The song was terrible, but I made it, and that felt really good. Of course, I realized from listening to it that I wasn't very good at guitar, and I didn't know really how to sing, and it was still incredibly motivating. So I practiced and got better. Then I took some voice lessons, and the picture kind of clarified a lot more for me. With some basic instruction, I was able to sing on key. Not perfect, but I knew it was just a matter of practice. And then my wonderful teacher started offering instructions that I didn't understand at first. She suggested singing with a New York accent, like a gangster accent or a country twang, letting my face go slack in singing. I kind of realized she's trying to get me to sing in some sort of persona with some personality. I was singing the notes, but there was no life to it, no character, no one was there. And at the same time, Bob Dylan published his book about popular music, The Philosophy of Modern Song. And I was expecting or hoping for a modern version of Aristotle's aesthetics, or maybe some roadmap or an actual philosophy on songwriting. Instead, Dylan went through dozens of songs one at a time, expanding on the themes in each song. And he did On the Road Again, My Generation, Midnight Rider. For me, the point he makes over and over again is that 20th century popular music was a narrative art form and not just a musical one. So, like, it's time and place and circumstance, action, but especially character. Often the singer is the main character, sometimes they're the narrator. Either way, the setting, character, and story dictates the singer's delivery. A good example is Dolly Parton's song "I Will Always Love You," made famous by Whitney Houston in her rendition for the movie The Bodyguard. While the lyrics are the same, the difference is in vocal delivery. Essentially, the emotional state of the character couldn't be more different. And even though the song is notionally about a woman who's trying to come to terms with the fact that the person they love doesn't love them, and they'll never be together, in Whitney Houston's version, she unleashes the full power of her crazy voice, and it's triumphant. It's a big bombastic 90s pop song. It becomes a story of finding joy in love, even though the object of that love doesn't return the affection. When I first heard Dolly Parton sing her version, I was driving through farm country at night. I almost had to stop the car because tears were streaming down my face. Like, she sounds like a broken woman, the person she loved most in the world she can ever have. Like, her pain is palpable. She almost whimpers the song. And of course, like all great narratives, it creates connection, right? I remember a time when the woman I wanted didn't want me, and so I have a human experience along with the character that Dolly Parton's singing about. Now, most cover bands don't do any of this. There's no believable emotional content, no matter how intensely they belt it out. They aren't revealing anything about themselves or their own story, but that revelation is what we want from art, and it's a big part of what makes popular music so compelling. Even if it's fiction, there's still a character, someone's interiority, something made by a person, something made by a messy meat bag, just like you and me. And of course, finally getting to the point, the output of generative AI software can't communicate in interiority. It's inference software. There's no one in there. Even just referring to it, AI, as a thing other than just a piece of software, to me is kind of introduces a big cognitive misunderstanding. But anyway, the question of what happens when AI makes a good song or a book or a movie that, pushes most of the intellectual buttons I enjoy in some form of media. What if I'm fooled? What if it starts to crowd out other music on platforms like YouTube? I kind of don't care about the question. I'm just going to seek out spaces and music and other art that's made by humans, and because I want to experience how you other messy meat bags are processing this bewildering temporary experience. So it's not about the artifact for me. It's kind of about connection. That's all there is here on this insane planet. So if you find connection by drinking beer and playing Led Zeppelin covers in your basement with your buddies, it's wonderful, but I don't want to listen to it. And so yeah, this is my first video. If you could hit like and subscribe, I'd be really grateful. And with that, I give you the first song I ever recorded.
White House. It's a sight house. Things don't change. It's always the same. White House, sight house, wild house. If there's somewhere to go, just don't go. Just don't go. Just don't go. Things don't change. It's like the White House. It's out of sight house. It's nowhere to be. Oh, it's the time. It's the time. Behind the times, it's ahead of time, it's not time yet, it's the wrong time!
At the end, what will you say about all of this? Some lovely light and heat, but I wish I had stayed in the office more.